Hello, hi, sat sri akal. My name is Sinder and I broke the housing for my GoPro Hero Plus. And that's tricky because this model of GoPro, as you may know, doesn't come out of the case. So my plan is to use this case I have from an old action camera and use its housing to replace what I've lost. So pehla I thought I would use a small sharp tool and a hammer to perforate the edge of the case. Chotiyan moriyan along the edge that would allow me to break it off easily. But I quickly learned that's not how these cases are built. बहुत कुत्ती चीज़ है. It absorbs the hit and does not crack easy. So लगता it's time to get a little heavy duty. The idea is still to perforate the edge to break it off clean because I want to separate the housing part that I need. So I got to hammering and it took a lot of hammering because this thing both solid cheese. But after spending some time and aggression on it, I was able to break off the piece that I needed. My hammering was a bit reckless, but the piece is usable, so I'm gonna cut it down using a hacksaw. I have this heavy duty clamping bench vise that will hold this piece in place while I make my cuts, which is very helpful. After getting it cut down to size, I use some sandpaper to smooth out the surface. There will be some sharp edges, so bachke. You will need to really get in there to smooth out some of the areas. I used the razor to see if I can slice off some of the bumps. It worked a little bit, but it looks like the bump will not let me glue the piece on properly. I'm using crazy glue because it's strong AF, but I'm sure there are other ones that'll work just fine too. Just know what you're using is a good one. So instead of the center, I'm gonna glue the piece a little to the left. It's a little off center, but I'm able to glue it to the full surface, which I know will hold steady, and that's the most important part. You don't want this thing falling off when you're using this on a gorilla pod, hanging it from a fence or something. Once I'm happy with where it's at, I use the razor to add a little more glue around the edges. This is just to make sure there's no extra gaps or areas without glue. And once it looks good, you just have to let it dry. I stuck it back into the vise for a few minutes and that did the trick for me. You can squeeze it in between some books or something heavy, and that should do it. I have not had an issue so far, but I didn't get a chance to travel too much during this quarantine, so I'll see how it goes. Or if you know a better glue I should be using, please let me know in the comments. So that's it for now. Okay, chalo fe.